This question is fairly unusual, but it's a very good one for thinking about histograms in a slightly different way. Focusing on part A of the question, you can see there's no table for this question, the way there often is. Tom asked students in his class how many hours they watched TV last week. So there's his histogram that he started. The question A is asking us to use this information to complete the histogram. So let's look at the first bit of information. 8 students watched television for between 10 to 15 hours. So that's been drawn on the diagram already. 10 to 15 hours is there. It's represented by this bar. So this bar has to represent 8 people. And remember, it's not the height, it's the area of this bar. It's the same as 8 students. So we can work this out in a different way. We don't have to worry about putting a scale of frequency density. We can look at it in a different way instead. Let's look at these centimetre squares here. If we count them up, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of those centimetre squares represent 8 students. That means that each square must represent half a student. So first of all, if we write that down, it's 1 square equals half a student. You get a mark just for writing that down. And then looking at the next bit of information we were given, 6 students watched television for between 0 and 10 hours. Well, 0 to 10 hasn't been drawn in the diagram yet, so we're being asked to fill that in. So we know there are 6 students, and each one of these squares will be half a student, so we're going to need 12 squares altogether. So let's try and count this up before we draw anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we need to draw a line in there. Then we can fill it in just to make it very clear to the examiner what we've drawn in. So those 2 marks from question A. If we now look at question B, this one's slightly unusual, but it's not that difficult. No students watched television for more than 30 hours. All that's telling us is that everybody that he asked has been captured by this histogram. Work out how many students he asked. The number of students he asked is given by the total area of this shape, all 4 bars added together. But we don't have to work it all out. We already know that this bit here is 6 students, and we also know that this bit here is 8 students. Now all we've got to do is count the squares in the other 2 bars. So for the third bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if each one represents half a student, that bar represents 6 students altogether. And now for the last bar, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then each one of these is half a square. So that was 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10. So it's 10 squares altogether, which means this must represent 5 students. So the total number of students he asked is just 8 plus 6 plus 6 plus 5, which is 25 students.